All right, we're here at my outdoor worm bin, and the last time we were in here, we did kind of a jungle gym feeding, and we used these things right here that my mom had given me. They come in packaging, and we ripped that part off right there, and we stuffed all kinds of fruits and vegetables in between these honeycomb spaces. Another thing we did is we mixed in all kinds of shredded cardboard because this bin was mostly castings, and we wanted to go ahead and bulk it up, and it really is a lot higher than it typically is. Now, another thing we did was we watered it in because we had all this dry bedding, and we put it in my garden to kind of let the nutrients and leachate come out of the bin and into the garden, and I left it out overnight accidentally. So you see this right here? This is a bit of a critter hole, and I have rabbit fencing around it, so I don't think it was anything like that, but I think it was a squirrel. We have lots of squirrels. So let's go ahead and dig in and see how that stuff did. It's been 9 days since we were in there, and I'm hoping that we get some, like maybe some little worm balls inside those little honeycomb spaces, but we are gonna find out. I'm already starting to see some good wigglers in there, and oh yeah, lots of good stuff. Oh yeah, check it out. There's one little space, lots of worms in there, and this, yep, everywhere, they went right in for it. It also is helping it to fall apart pretty well, so that's pretty cool. Even though this was the one that was really disturbed, we've got all kinds of great red wigglers going in those spaces, and look at all the castings they've deposited. It's pretty amazing. This looks like maybe, I don't know, some kind of peel of some sort, but pretty impressive. You can definitely see the difference between so many castings in here versus, you know, you come over here. So let's kind of move this to the side, and let's dig up that other one. Here's just a little bit of food left. This, I think, was cucumber peels that had been in here because we had lots of peppers and strawberries along with those cucumber peels, but we put all kinds of good stuff in there. Oh, the other thing we did was we took some pine needles and we cut them up. So there you go. And that's just kind of my ongoing efforts to add some more stuff from my lawn and garden into here. And let's see what we've got. Some worms, yep. I can't even tell if I have that honeycomb thing, but yeah, I think I do right here. And whoa, oh yeah, right there. I guess we kind of prevented a worm ball because they're not all en masse, they're all separated and divided into those little condominiums, but lots of great worms. They certainly, you know, seeked it out. I left the bottom on, so I don't know if they went in between the cracks and crevices or over the top. And here's just an example of, I think, a pepper that I stuffed right in there, and lots of great worms. So this is pretty flat, so I think they went inside and ate everything in there, and they're just kind of leaving the peels. So yeah, check it out. Very cool, very cool. All right, let's kind of just dig around and see if some of our other long-term food is in here and see how the overall pine needles, because I've been putting pine needles in, I think, for about 2 months, and we'll see if we can see if there's any other bunches of them. Wow. This is really cool. Obviously, these right here are newer, and they're definitely stiffer than something like this that just kind of breaks apart. Keep digging. Oh yeah, down here we had a lot of rain, so I think down at the bottom it's probably going to be a lot more moist than at the top, and just really great. I mean, even though we put in lots of shredded bedding, there is still lots of castings. So seems like the last 5 videos or so I've said that I'm going to dump this thing out, and I think next time that's just what I have to do. I just have to dump this out, get a good count. By count, I mean weight of the worms, and see how many are in here, because I'm guesstimating somewhere around 5,000. But check out this bin. Look at this. Lots of great, fantastic castings. All right, let me dig around, and then we'll set up for our next feeding. And I think you're going to like it, because it's just going to be one piece of food. Pretty cool, huh? All right, I have no idea what this piece of food scrap is. Whatever it is, these worms are really enjoying it.
I think it's the rest of that apple.
Oh, you're right. You're totally right. That is, because here's the apple peel. I think you're right. Yeah, last of the worms getting through it. I think this was one of our mangoes, and they have officially kind of done away with it, broken it apart, and you can tell it's just really, look at that, it's just really crumbly. So mango seeds will eventually get broken down. It just takes forever. Okay, here is our newer of our mango seeds, and it's kind of looking the same as before. Oh, uh-oh, right there. It was underneath. Oh yeah, there you go. Got a couple of fat worms all up in there. Oh yeah, you can tell right there it's a little bit more soft in the seed leaf and kind of the nutritious part of it. See if I can put it right back in, give them their hidey-ho again. There we go, good enough. Okay, so kind of making a deep hole. Again, you can see how much more volume we have in here than we have had in the past. So this is good for the feeding that I'm about to give them. Just going to put some of the old stuff in here, maybe some of the more of the bedding, some of the pine needles right there. And we'll go in with some fresh bedding. Then here's some of the new pine needles that I've gathered up. So we'll just cut those up and put those right in the feeding zone so they get nice and wet and, you know, more pliable, that kind of thing. And we'll be ready for our feeding. All right. A little bit more of the shredded cardboard. And you'll notice I had a bill that I didn't like, so I shredded that up too. So here we go. Here's our one piece of food, and it is half of a sugar baby watermelon. Now this has been in the freezer for a while. I took it out probably about an hour ago, and it's thawed out a little bit, but I'm just gonna put this right here. Again, do not suggest doing this for someone that's got 500 worms, even 1,000 worms, but I think our worms will be able to take care of this. And I'm gonna put a lot of bedding on it. We'll check it in maybe about 10 days to 2 weeks and see how well they've done with it. It's going to release a lot of liquid and hopefully won't heat up. I don't think it will because I think they're going to get to it pretty quick. So in with this one piece of food, we're going to add some worm chow, and this is, I think, pulverized oats and a little bit of dried vegetable that I had put in here, and then I had pulverized it and added it to my tiny worm bin when I was trying to dry it out. But usually I just find what's expired in my pantry and I just add some of that into the blender and pulverize it up and use it as worm chow. I try not to use too much, just a kind of a thin layer on it because it can get matted down and almost form like cement. So just go easy on it and the worms will certainly enjoy it. Now all this brown stuff is coffee grounds. You can actually see like half a coffee bean here, and when I squeeze it, it's super hard, but when we come back, that will be gone because it's super mushy and the worms just attack it. And then in goes some eggshell grit, and this again I pulverize, and the worms use it in their gizzard. Just helps them make their food a little bit smaller and really nutritious for the garden and for the worms. So I'm just going to add some more bedding on top of this, maybe even a little bit in those holes right there, just like that. And then I'm going to go ahead and bury it. I always try and bury my food, even though I fold the sides of this bin in, and you can watch that at the very end of the video. I'll show you just a little fast forward of how I do that. But important to bury the food, one, so especially for an outdoor bin, critters don't smell it or find it, but also you want the worms to be able to get up on it. And if it's dry on the top, you know, it may take them a little bit longer. Certainly they can go from underneath your food, but you want to get them to get at it from all angles. And there we go. This bin is looking good. It's nice and high. I'm enjoying this. And we're just going to add some more bedding on top. Almost like baking a cake every time I come out here. So I'll go ahead and water this in again. And this time I'm not going to forget it overnight. I'll put it back in its place. Get a worm on me. So I hope you're all having a great day. I hope your worm bins are doing well. So happy vermicomposting, everybody. Take care now.